I guarantee you, when this is solved, and it's going to be solved, this isn't going to be a stranger. This is going to be somebody you know, somebody you've crossed paths with somewhere, somehow, in my opinion. It's just a matter of you're going to find it out when they're caught, or you're going to find it out because you go back through and do an inventory and figure out everything you can possibly figure out and lead us to who they are.
You know, I never thought about that until just now. What's up? The day that we were over there helping Jody move her stuff out, her mom showed up. And she goes, it's pretty odd that truck ain't been found yet. Why would she say that?
Why wouldn't she say that?
Because she owns a red truck, baby. And at one time it did have a ladder rack on it. That's why I said that.
Well, maybe that's the truck they've seen.
Damn, killer. It's so good.
This is Summer Wells. The 5-year-old lived at this house in Rogersville, Tennessee, a tight-knit community of less than 5,000 people. On June 15, 2021, her parents say Summer was helping plant flowers with her mom and grandmother.
And she wanted to go into the house. My wife watched her go into the door, and she went into the house, and the boys were on the internet, of course. She wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys.
I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight.
2 years after her parents, Don and Candace Wells, gave those accounts, that's still all we know about the last time Summer was seen. Almost immediately, Summer's parents became the center of a police investigation.
Summer's parents, Candace and Don, had something to do with this, or have you ruled that out?
We haven't ruled anything out. Everything's possible.
Don Wells pleaded guilty to driving under the influence. Candace also filed an order of protection against him, but asked for it to be dismissed. He now faces criminal charges in 3 states, including a domestic assault arrest in 2020. 2 years later, investigators have not charged either Don or his wife in connection to Summer's disappearance.
Everybody makes mistakes, and we all have to learn and go on. We're doing better. It's still very rough for my wife.
Oh, I'm being interrogated again, and I don't want to do this anymore. Yes, I am.
We'll stop. I want you to feel comfortable.
Since Summer's disappearance, Don says their life has been consumed by harassment from people online who believe they're responsible for whatever happened to Summer.
Before you know it, you're getting a mob going. My wife could go to the store and somebody would scream at her, baby killer.
Call the cops, Candace.
He sent us videos from one of his job sites where some people were demanding to speak with him about the case.
We're gonna follow you. We're waiting here all day.
Don says it's gotten so bad he had to leave the state. As for Summer's case, Don says they have private investigators working with police. The Hawkins County Sheriff's Office is still working alongside the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Both agencies declined to give us an interview. Don says he hasn't learned anything new from police, but has always said he believes Summer was abducted. In the past, the sheriff said there's no evidence that happened.
Nothing pointing to abduction, nothing pointing to foul play, other than her walking outside the house and not being found.
There was also a key tip from a neighbor in 2021. A woman and her teen children told police they heard a scream about an hour before Summer went missing.
I wish every day that when I heard that scream, I hadn't tried to dismiss it.
But the sheriff said after multiple interviews, that tip led nowhere. One clue they're still looking for is a pickup truck seen in the area around the time Summer vanished. It's described as a red or maroon Toyota truck with ladders on the back.
TBI officials say in the process of speaking with neighbors about the night Summer disappeared.
In the process of speaking with neighbors about the night Summer disappeared.
Officials are looking for the driver of a Toyota pickup truck who was seen in the Beach Creek community either Monday or Tuesday of last week. The pickup is possibly a 1998 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma with a full bed ladder rack along the white with white buckets in the truck bed. They're looking to speak with the driver and want to stress that they are not a suspect, but can be a potential witness.
I keep being asked if I'm the one that reported the truck, the red truck, right? And I'm not. I didn't. I'm not the one that came from. If whispers and rumors are to be believed, I kind of know who did.
Did you ever see the red truck?
I seen a red truck, but I didn't see the red truck down there.
In the evening times, I would usually walk down to meet Voldemort after he gotten off work. So I was standing there at a certain time, usually every day, and there was a truck that kept coming in and out. This truck and the person in it kind of stuck with me. I did report that I was like, well, wait. I was like, there was this truck. It was coming in at the same time almost every day. The guy was being a little weird, but I thought it was traffic for something else, and it didn't really, I don't know, for some reason the guy stuck with me. I mean, we were just inches apart most days. He passed me as I was standing at the very tip of the driveway, but for some reason his face stuck with me. And that's something strange these days. So I did report it. After I'd reported the truck, and it did have ladder racks on it, but no ladders. The ladder racks were black, as I recall. But I did notice that after everything had happened and Summer had vanished, I didn't see this truck any longer. I've not seen the guy since.
Jody described this red Toyota pickup truck. I'm sure you've heard about it. And she kept talking about this man that she saw driving it. She described him pretty detailed. I offered at that time to do a sketch for free. I always do all my forensic work. Jody described this red Toyota pickup truck. I'm sure you've heard about it. And she kept talking about this man that she saw driving it. She described him pretty detailed. I offered at that time to do a sketch for free. I always do all my forensic work. To me, like I'm some kind of suspicious character. Yeah, I do this. I work with families, I work with law enforcement, I work with the U.S. Marshals. So finally I told her, look, contact Detective Pruitt, give him my phone number. I will drive there to Tennessee. I'm with Virginia. Do this for you free of charge. She never answered me. My question to you is, did she ever talk to you about a suspect in a red Toyota pickup truck, or describe it, or say he was suspicious, or is this just another one of those figments of the imagination?
I don't remember her telling me about a red Toyota truck.
At one point, Voldemort had told me to pass along information of where he thought that truck stayed, things like that. And I honestly can't say that he was right, but we passed that on as well. Still never heard anything. You know, and I really don't know that Voldemort was right on that part, honestly.
I found a red Toyota truck with ladder racks on it, but
I gotcha.
I do know that I was seeing a red truck. It wasn't bright red. He was coming and going from Ben Hill at a certain time of day. You know, I still don't know who he is. I know that it seemed like that ladder rack was coming and going off of the truck. I mean, I can still see the guy's face, and I can still picture the truck and how high it was, and him looking at me, and just, you know, I don't know, but long story short, I was not the one that reported the truck, and I'll be, you know, so either way, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't me who reported the red truck, so there you go.
Well, she had just, like last fall, she really described, she said she saw the guy's tattoos, she saw his hair color, his darker complexion, she saw him driving it, she saw him there. Or is this something she's thinking of? So she didn't talk to you in detail about that then?
no. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking that the Toyota truck came out after the fact, a couple days in, and somebody had seen it or something like that.
Right. But Jody never spoke to you about seeing this man or driving the truck.
That truck?
That you can remember. And I understand about those memories, and part of that might not be your ADD or ADHD, because I have those.
Well, it's probably why I blocked shit out that I don't want to remember.
And like Andy, he was in here that day.
I want to talk to him. Can you?
And he swears that down he's at work. He ain't. Because he was in here at 3 o'clock.
So
because I had to pull over and let him by. And that red Toyota truck, that's Jody's mom's.
You guys say that she had a...
See, I know. See, that's why they don't like me.
The Wells family lives across the street from a neighboring property. The night Summer went missing, the neighbor swears that she and her 2 children heard a scream. She and her family next heard a truck door slamming.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck, and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen.
TBI has been looking for a maroon or red Toyota Tacoma truck. They say the person driving it may have been a witness in Summer's disappearance.
You keep complicating this shit by saying that it's a witness. I've never seen a damn witness run away from the police. Unless they got some shit to hide.
What about the truck with the ladder racks? I gave pictures of it to the FBI or TBI or Hawkins County 1. A couple people, including Lupus, had a picture of it with the tag number. So.
We do know that last year you guys pushed out some information about the red truck. I know that this is on here, but just so we can talk about it with you guys. Is that still something you're looking for? Do you still want people to submit tips, or is that over and you're just not looking for that stuff anymore?
I'm going to call on TBI Special Agent in charge, Derek Newport, just to talk about that and where that stands.
I will tell you yes, just to eliminate. We still don't have a good timeline of when that was observed. People in frequent areas on a regular basis can get days mixed up. We still want to figure out who, if possible, and if that's even a legitimate lead.
We still don't have a good timeline of when that was observed. People in frequent areas on a regular basis can get days mixed up.
I wasn't on the road on the 15th. I was on the road on the 14th and the 16th.
So you're saying the date is wrong on the SD cards?
On the so now you're saying that the date's wrong on it. Is that what you're saying? The date is wrong on the SD cards, or you're saying the date was wrong on the recording?
He's always one of these phones, devices, cards, laptops, cameras, pictures, all the things for all the decades of proof he knows to have his abuse, not to count. In order to do that, he either had to steal them, which he did try to do.
He's always one of these phones, devices, cards, laptops, cameras, pictures, all the things for all the decades of proof he knows to have his abuse, not to count. In order to do that, he either had to steal them, which he did try to do.
And then, of course, somebody said they spotted a truck parked here somewhere. We don't know. I didn't see it. That's just what somebody said. But
How exactly did the red truck come into the picture? For
when I was leaving for work that morning, there was a guy at the bottom of my driveway wanting me to pull start his four-wheeler. And then the police showed up, and he asked if I could go ahead and pull it over to his truck. So, and the policeman said, "Yeah, Mr. Wells just pulled over there, you know." And so I did. And when we got there, I seen the truck on the bank of the ditch there, high centered, and I asked the officers, "Can I take some pictures?" He said, "No problem, Mr. Wells, go ahead." And he started asking him for paperwork, and when I went to the side of the truck to take a picture, there was some woman stuck her head out. There was a woman in that truck, and she looked like she ain't combed her hair for like 2 months. I don't know, but she just laid back down in there and covered up. But that kind of stuff is constant in our area, and all kind of stuff going on. I think meth is becoming what it always has been, but it's getting worse. I guess it's a serious problem. I guess it is everywhere, but yeah.
And that was the morning?
Well, sir, I didn't.
Sorry, that was that morning you left for work that happened with the four-wheeler and that?
Yes.
So the police were there June 15th, early in the morning then?
Yeah, they just showed up because somebody else had called the law.
No, they wasn't no vehicles stuck that I know of. The red truck off in the ditch, that was somewhere else. That was up through the gap in the mountain.
There was an opening she could kind of at least across to almost Bell. Like there's that opening, that property, it goes almost to Bell. You just have to cross a little section of forest. And then you're on Bell Road.
See, what you do is you actually jump two roads when you come the back way through. It's right there. You jump from Ben Hill, you jump either across Bell or Field.
Yeah.
And then you come back into the woods behind, and then you go on down to here.
Right. But getting to Bell or Fields is a mile, maybe? If that. It's not even, it's just
closer. Half a mile, 3/4 of a mile off if you go through the woods from Ben Hill to Field.
That's what I thought.
That's the way I used to go when I'd go to my cousin's house. If I was walking, I would go up behind Gorley's house, split the gap, and come out. Actually, I'll show you where I
But the only reason she would do that is because, like we were talking about earlier, she wouldn't have gone off on her own for no reason. But if she's running from someone, then maybe she was terrified, right? She could have taken off and ended up in the middle of there.
Where did they say? I've heard 2 stories on the footprints. Somebody said they was up towards Fred's. Somebody said they was down this way.
One up toward Fred. One on the property that I'm talking about that goes to that big clearing. We can go on Ben Hill if you want to, and I can show you where they are.
Okay,
and then Bell Road, there's a property on the top of a hill on Bell Road, and that's where another footprint was, around there.
That's my cousin.
Your cousin? Do you know him? Like, would he freak out if he showed up?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't get along? Okay. Have you done Bell all the way to where there's like a turnoff point. Launch your drone up there. You could go above Gorley's. That would be a nice view of all the area that she could have possibly.
Yeah, that'd been. Because all that shit where they're saying the feet prints are behind Gorley's. That connects right on the back side of Bell Road.
Okay. That's the
Like you walk through
that's a
behind-
concentration of her prints.
Have you seen Gorley's house? How it sets his property? Okay, so if you're at the gate when you go in the holler, just look at the gate. You'll see a house way back there. If you go straight back that holler behind that house, it brings you through the woods to the back side of Bell Road down there.
I thought they blocked it off. I tried to get
You can't
through
drive through there.
Oh yeah, I tried
You
to get
gotta
through there
walk.
one time.
I had a dream. There was thousands, 100,000, a million of us standing at that gate. I don't know why, but we're just standing at the gate, strong, all lined up, staring at that gate.
Andy, why was you here on the 15th? You hadn't been here in years.
From the other side of that gate.
At that point in time, you all was thinking that she was lost. Everybody.
I really honestly didn't know, because years and years that I've lived down there, and years that I've run those roads and that holler and back through them cuts to my cousin's houses and everything like that.
I've run those roads and that holler and back through them cuts to my cousin's houses and everything like that.
Ain't nobody ever messed with us. And it's been girls, boys, 5 to, well, now. So.
A search group put on by the Wells family private investigators had eyes on the ground and in the air today in the Beach Creek community almost a year later searching for Summer Wells. And today we hear from them for the first time. Almost a year after Summer Wells was reported missing, people continue to search the area for any signs of the little girl.
We had permission to search about 200 acres, area that had not, according to the property owner, had not been searched well in the past or at all.
Saturday, 8 people, including a drone operator and the Wells private investigator, searched a property on the backside of Ben Hill Road.
There were rumors of footprints and things that were found in the woods when Summer went missing. And, you know, if you sort of look at that evidence and you look at the surrounding properties and the direction those footprints were headed, it sort of gives you an idea of where to go look.
There were rumors of footprints and things that were found in the woods when Summer went missing. And, you know, if you sort of look at that evidence and you look at the surrounding properties and the direction those footprints were headed, sort of gives you an idea of where to go look.
Chris Storms with First to Deploy has been assisting CNC investigations in their searches.
We also use a Mavic 2 Pro that allows us to shoot in 20 megapixel, and we use that to run through a program called Locate. Locate can detect a color of a shirt from 200 feet in the air, even if it's the size of a quarter.
The drones are not only used to map out the search area, but one even has an infrared camera that can detect non-recorded burials up to 4 years old.
When you put someone in the ground, basically as they decompose, and it kind of kills everything around it, but as everything grows back over time, it flourishes. It kind of creates a super fertile soil, and what you can detect on your infrared is the different color of the ground that you couldn't normally see with the naked eye.
Saturday's search also included a neighbor who says the environment is similar to how it was when Summer disappeared, but he still doesn't think she could be found in the area.
It's a lot of ground to cover. It's very thick. I guess anything is possible. Once you've seen 2 solid weeks of so many people covering such an area so thoroughly, it doesn't seem likely, but anything's possible.
As someone like Jody Sue, when you see this pop up on the news and you know exactly where that's at, probably your go-to response is, oh shit.
You're a pussy. Your elders would be fucking ashamed. And they wouldn't be flip-flopping. Sunflowers. In public. Not from any hollow. Stay in the darkness, where it belonged, when it was time. Chicken shit. You know, the thing is, you showed fear. Already. You showed fear already. And I can smell it. I watched it. I watched you think about having a set of balls for about 10 seconds, and then your fear take over. You reek of it. You reek of it. Or maybe you reek of regret. Maybe both. All I'm going to tell you tonight is this. I don't know why I'd have to ask Dave Radall anything. And I won't ask the other. Not for anyone. What have you done? What in the fuck have you done? And what in the fuck are you trying to do? Blood, kin, dirty chicken shit water. Others indeed. You'd be a fucking anomaly even to them. It's not how they operate. It's not how they operated. Just leave your mommy and your daddy out of it. You can. At least the old timers. Because they'd be fucking embarrassed. What have you done? And what are you implying? You didn't quite finish. Didn't get right. They were trying to finish. But no, dear. I won't be asking Radar or the others. Or Candace. Anything. And you don't scare me. Your elders didn't scare me either. I give zero fucks. And I won't be asking anybody anything. Not Dave Radar. Not Candace and not the rest.
You know, then there was the thought that on that Saturday night that I got into town, which would have been 4 days after she went missing, is that somebody said that they found a footprint. Now, I don't know the truth about that, but they had TBI, FBI, they had some of the locals there late at night. I got into town about 11 o'clock, and they were still searching until about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, from what I understand, because they went under the assumption is that, oh hell, maybe if she was abducted, they're seeing all of this go down. They dropped her back off near the woods, and that she was now walking the woods by herself. So then they set up this good perimeter around there and just kind of worked our way more towards the house to create that funnel effect.
The search for now 6-year-old Summer Wells. Crews are back in Hawkins County, going back to the areas of interest on a small scale search. That's what we're told this is being called. Why they are searching in the area. They're searching again. This is not the first time. It's not even the second or third time they've revisited this area.
All of a sudden, about 3/4 of a mile to a mile away, you've got this previous area of interest, which a lotto odd, right? This is a lotto odd, that the child is going to go missing from Ben Hill, walk westwardly, and have some sort of significance to yet another property that's accessible by the neighbors on Ben Hill at 125.
Some selling their whole ass land anyways, because they're like, fuck this, what if something's been placed on?
What were the, what line of questioning was TBI and the law asking? What were they asking?
I honestly don't remember, sir.
Okay, no problem.
Do you not think if the law had anything else asked me that they had done come and asked me, or if I was on the road even lying, that they would have come and said, well, sir, I've not talked to them since I left that property. Nobody's came at me to question me, nothing. And I've not been hiding. Every year since I've left, I've had to go to court at least one time a year. Hawkins County, Sullivan County.
The reason why I sent that in is because, because Andy Bernard was on that road that day and nobody was questioning him. And he says he was at work all day.
Both us, TBI, and FBI have questioned him several times concerning that. Yes, he was on the road probably prior to, but most important is this dark blue pickup truck with tinted windows that you felt was very important in this tip.
Yeah.
Why do you feel it's important?
Because, well, we feel like Andy was meeting him.
Well, like I said, our agency, TBI, and the FBI have interviewed Mr. Bernard. I'm not arguing with you. If you don't have anything further, we appreciate your information and have a good day. Bye-bye.
What the fuck?
What?
Just happened.
Have you been interviewed by the police, TBI, or FBI?
Yes, all three.
How many times do you think total?
A few, I don't know, more than once.
By each agency or at the same time?
TBI showed up at my work and questioned me. I talked to TBI, FBI, and Hawkins County at my house 2 or 3 times over, 2 or 3 days after, Summer went missing.
Ronnie Lawson.
Ronnie Lawson, yeah, of course. Everybody wants to know if I own Ronnie Lawson. No, I don't. Hey, look, I wouldn't be on here trying to make money and trying to beg for money and working my ass off if I had the police on payroll.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimate shit. I mean, I don't know no broke-ass motherfuckers that have police on payroll.
Right.
That's all I've really ever sold was weed, because it's kind of like a victimless crime. I mean, everybody pretty much smokes weed. Even the police smoke weed.
That's all I've really ever sold was weed. Even the police smoke weed.
I never sold no pills to them.
Where would Jody Sue get her pills that she was selling to over there?
That's, Ziggy, that is not in my spot to answer. That is something that will get me in trouble.
Okay. Well,
that's not something I can say.
That is something that will get me in trouble.
Let me tell you this. The level of criminal sophistication in Hawkins County, right there on the hill, is not complex in any sort of fashion. Every single thing those two have ever done, they've been jammed up for it. So now you think they graduated to murder of their own child and the disposal of the corpse, and be able to trick dogs and be able to trick scanners and be able to trick helicopters and fucking searchers and agents from 80 wherever jurisdictions? Fuck you, me.
We fucking do. If not for those pesky meddling kids.
Back to what I do. Catfish, Billy, baby, hello, how are you? You're my 9, rappers like a power line, fell into a swimming pool. I think I got the whole crew. Ooh, let me know what y'all wanna do. I bought a 30 pack of Creek water, baby boo. 99, out of 99.99, not mine. I got 100 proof.
sorry they were ever born.
Who?
All of them.
Let's go. Yeah, make it look easy. Hey, stand up guy on 10 toes. Big body pull up in a Range Rover. I can change the whole game when I say so. I pull up, shut it down, yeah, they know. Running this game ain't a thing for me. I never switched up, no change in me. The only thing changing this season, you go against me, then you know that you tweaking, okay? Cause baby, I'm him, I be on 10. Two-stepping in the party, I do not dance. Watch how I move, make it look easy. Counting up wins, that's part of the plan. Blackmail, taking up my haters a CC. I can't fail, I'm the reason we repeat. I'm knee deep, need a dub, best that you seek me. I'm too sick, yeah, I know I make it look easy. Easy, yeah. Tell them don't try to play me. Yeah, I'm drippy on the dirty. They can never count me out, they can never count me out, I know. They can never count me out, they can never count me out, I know. I make it look easy, make it look easy. I know I make it look easy, make it look easy. I know I make it look easy, too smooth, I make it look easy. I know we make it look easy, make it look.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
Break down my walls, but I will rise again. 'Cause I stand tall in my environment. How could I ever close my eyes and stay silent since they try to take me down with their violence?